Hello, my name is Elena, and if you're listening to this story, I beg you to stay until the end. What I'm about to tell you isn't some made-up tale to scare you. It's real. It happened to me. And it all started with a well. I live in a nowhere town called Hollow Pines, tucked away in a forgotten corner of the world. It's the kind of place where the streets are quiet after dusk, where everyone knows your name, and where nothing exciting, or terrible, ever seems to happen. At least, that's what I thought until last week. Behind my house, there's an old dirt road, barely more than a trail now, swallowed by weeds and shadows. It winds through the woods, deeper and deeper, until it ends at a stone well. Nobody knows who built it or how long it's been there. The stones are ancient, crumbling under layers of moss, and the wooden cover is rotted through, sagging into the darkness below. The adults in town avoid it like it's cursed. The kids, though, they dare each other to get close, whispering stories about it in the schoolyard. They call it the Whispering Well. I always thought it was just a stupid legend, something to spook the little ones. I was wrong. It began on Tuesday night. I couldn't sleep. The clock on my nightstand glowed 2:13 a.m., and the silence in my room felt heavy, pressing down on me like a weight. I don't know what possessed me, but I grabbed my flashlight, slipped on my boots, and stepped outside. The air was crisp, biting at my skin, and the moon hung low, casting jagged shadows through the trees. My feet carried me down that dirt road, almost like they had a mind of their own. I told myself I just needed to walk, to clear my head, but deep down, I knew where I was going. The woods grew thicker the farther I went, the branches twisting together overhead, blocking out the sky. The path narrowed, and then I saw it, the well. It stood alone in a small clearing, its stones glinting faintly in the moonlight. I stopped, my breath fogging in the air. I should have turned back. But I didn't. That's when I heard it. A whisper. It was soft at first, so faint I thought it was the wind rustling the leaves. But there was no breeze. The trees were still, unnaturally so. The sound came again, low and raspy, rising from the well like smoke. I gripped my flashlight tighter, my knuckles white, and stepped closer. The beam trembled as I aimed it down the hole. The light didn't reach the bottom, just endless, swallowing black. The whisper grew louder, forming words I couldn't make out, a jumble of syllables that sounded ancient, wrong. My heart slammed against my ribs, but I couldn't move. It was as if the voice had wrapped itself around me, holding me there, pulling me in. Elena, it said. My name. Clear as day, spoken in that dry, grating tone. I stumbled back, the flashlight slipping from my hand. It hit the ground with a dull thud, the beam flickering out, plunging the clearing into darkness. The whispering stopped, but the silence was worse. I could feel something watching me, its gaze heavy and unblinking. I turned and ran, branches snagging at my clothes, my boots pounding the dirt. I didn't stop until I was back in my house, the door locked behind me. I told myself it was my imagination, a trick of the night. But I knew better. That voice, it knew me. The next morning, I couldn't shake it. My name echoed in my head, over and over, like a song I couldn't unhear. I tried to go about my day, breakfast, school, homework, but my mind kept drifting back to the well. What was it? Why me? By sunset, I'd made up my mind. I had to go back. I needed proof, something to convince myself I wasn't losing it. I grabbed my phone, checked the battery, and headed out as the sky bled orange and red. The woods were quieter this time, the usual chirps of crickets and rustle of small animals gone. It was as if the forest was holding its breath. When I reached the well, the air felt thick, pressing against my chest. I hit record on my phone and leaned over the edge. Hello? I called, my voice small and shaky. For a moment, there was nothing. Then it answered. Elena, it whispered, slow and deliberate, curling around me like fog. My phone screen flickered, the audio warping into static, but I kept it steady. What are you? I asked, louder this time. What do you want? The voice laughed, a dry, hollow sound that sent a shiver racing down my spine. "Look closer," it said, each word dripping with menace. I didn't want to. Every fiber of my being screamed at me to run, to drop the phone and never look back. But my body betrayed me. My hands gripped the stone edge, and I peered into the well. This time I saw something. A faint glow, deep in the blackness, flickering like a dying ember. The whispering turned into a chant, a rhythmic pulse that throbbed in my ears, growing louder, faster. The glow brightened, and I realized it wasn't light at all. It was eyes. Hundreds of them, pale and unblinking, staring up at me from the depths. They weren't human. They were too wide, too empty, too alive with something I couldn't name. I screamed, falling back onto the damp earth, my phone tumbling beside me. The chanting stopped, but those eyes stayed burned into my vision, glowing behind my lids every time I blinked. I grabbed my phone and ran, not stopping until I was under the harsh fluorescent lights of my kitchen. My hands shook as I played the recording. The whispers were there, faint but unmistakable, layered beneath the static. "Look closer," it repeated, over and over, a loop of quiet malice. I deleted it, smashed my phone against the counter until the screen cracked, and swore I'd never go back. But the well wasn't done with me. That night, I woke to the sound of dripping water. It was 2:13 a.m. again, always 2:13. The room was dry, the ceiling unblemished, but the noise wouldn't stop. Drip. 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 It was slow, deliberate, like a heartbeat. I sat up, my breath shallow, and listened. It was coming from my closet. I didn't want to look, but I had to know. I crossed the room, the floorboards creaking under my bare feet, and opened the door. A puddle of black water stared back at me, rippling faintly as if something had just slipped beneath its surface. The whispering started again, soft and close, coming from the puddle. "Elena, look closer." I slammed the door and stumbled back, my pulse racing. The dripping followed me, echoing through the house, louder now. I ran to my parents' room, desperate for safety, but their bed was empty. The sheets were cold, untouched. The house was silent except for that relentless drip. I locked myself in the bathroom, clutching a kitchen knife I'd grabbed on the way. The dripping grew into a steady stream, like rain against the walls. I sat there until dawn, the blade trembling in my hands, waiting for something, anything, to happen. When the first light crept through the window, I dared to look in the mirror. My reflection wasn't right. My eyes, they were glowing, faint at first, then brighter, just like the ones in the well. The whispering wasn't outside anymore. It was inside my head, a constant murmur I couldn't escape. Days blurred together after that. I stopped sleeping, stopped eating. The voice grew louder, filling my skull with words I didn't want to hear. It told me things, horrible, impossible things. The well wasn't a well, it said. It was a door, sealed long ago by people who knew what lay on the other side. Something ancient, something hungry, had been trapped there for centuries, waiting for someone foolish enough to listen. It chose me because I answered. Because I looked. Every night, the dripping returned, and the house changed. Shadows stretched too long. Doors opened on their own. My parents never came back, and I stopped calling for them. I knew they were gone. And then it started speaking to me in my dreams. But these weren't dreams. No, they were visions, vivid and twisted, showing me things I can't unsee. I saw the eyes. Hundreds of eyes, staring from the dark, watching me. I saw myself, standing at the well, but it wasn't me anymore. I wasn't alive. The voice laughed, hollow and guttural, telling me I was already part of it. I was changing. Last night, I woke up standing at the edge of the well. I don't remember leaving my bed, don't remember the walk through the woods. My hands were wet, coated in that black water, slick and cold against my skin. The voice was screaming now, not whispering, screaming to be let free. I could feel it clawing at me, tugging at my mind, my body. I tried to run, tried to scream, but my feet wouldn't move. It was pulling me in, deeper and deeper, and I couldn't fight it. I ran home, barricaded the door, and started recording this. I don't think I can fight it much longer. The dripping is everywhere now, pooling in the corners, seeping through the walls. The eyes are in every shadow, watching, waiting. If you're in Hollow Pines, stay away from the well. Don't listen to the whispers. Don't look closer. Because once you do, it won't let you go. The voice is here. It's in my head, in my bones. It's calling my name. Elena. 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 It's closer than it's ever been. I feel it breathing behind me. I can't move. I can't breathe. The eyes are opening. The water's rising. I think it's too late. I think I'm already gone.